Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey
Morning.
all, good
One
morning.
odd
Happy
gent.
Friday.
Finally it's
Farmer
Friday.
Michelle. Happy Friday. Welcome to another AMA from the Common Ground World team. If you haven't tuned in a while, you might have previously known us as Townstar. We are streaming live here on YouTube, and if you are on Discord, you will be able to see some links to this. So, good morning. Let's get started. Who is listening here? We got Poison in hello. I've 715. Good to see you. We got E.T. Lugs, Cotton Cheesecake. Kinds of good folks here. Who do we got? Dubstep. Jail Lurcher. That's a new name. And
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to
Bureau.
pronounce that one. I was thinking about saying it.
Somebody's gonna so you always trick me with a not safe for work username. Just say it out loud. Good morning,
What's
O-Town.
gonna happen? You just jinxed it.
So anybody who hasn't heard One Odd Gent's voice in a while, here he is. He's always in our Discord cheering us on, talking about pizza. And he's joining us as our special guest today. We got three of us here. Mr. Musashi, who normally runs these things, is out getting married. He'll be out through next week as well, returning, I believe, on the 13th. And be sure to like and subscribe. And if there's an option by a bell to request notifications, turn that on too, so you don't have to ask in Discord. Where's the link?
Yep, that's the easiest way to do it.
It is, and thank you for setting that up, Michelle. And just a little bit of history for anybody who's like, well, what is this thing? We've been doing this well over 60 episodes. Thank you, Paul, for counting that up for us. And still going strong every week, giving you updates on the game, long-term roadmaps. A few weeks ago, we had Mr. Bitbender himself in here talking about the light paper. So it's a little bit of everything. Sometimes dev stuff, sometimes production, sometimes art, usually updates. So with that, Miss Michelle, what's our first section? What do you want to talk about first?
Oh, let's see here. Scroll to the top of our documents. I'm way at the bottom. We definitely not start at the bottom.
Well, I can hop right into one thing I know we're doing. Anybody who's listening is we are now hiring. We've opened up a spot. This is a very senior spot. If you are a gameplay dev and you're interested in the Godot engine, you don't have to have experience with it, but you do with other engines. And you like working with smart, fun, kind, interesting people on all sorts of engineering problems, apply. Go to our website and consider applying for this. Or you could DM me directly and I can fill you in on what it's like to work on this awesome team. We're going to have a link here in a sec. I'll post it directly. So while I'm getting this link ready for you, Mr. Paul set up a nice one for us. So current headlines are work in progress and stuff. Big picture, the TLDR is guilds. We have this large set of guilds features that everybody's going to love, I think. Going to add a nice social aspect to it. It's going to add NFT sharing, guild library, eventually guild vault for upgrades. Really ambitious, interesting, nice social aspect there. And then after that, probably halfway through a lot of those features, we're going to introduce the rest of the upgradable NFT features, which is going to be really cool. I don't know. I'm kind of a XP grinder in most of the games I play, so I love the idea of like maxing out all my assets, NFTs,
Same.
whatever. Yeah. It's like can't stand to see a half-empty progress bar. Yeah, and then also we're doing, I don't know how much this interests y'all, but we're doing a lot of long-term planning. Our content, we have a new product manager in, and he's not in the AMA today, but he is working away on our content schedule, and it is amazing to see planning out months and months in advance what's happening, what we're going to be doing, what metas, it's really nice to see. So
Yeah,
that's
it's been
kind of the
awesome.
headlines. Yeah. How long's he been here? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah. He already killing it. Like doing great.
Definitely.
So headline rewards. Do you have any info on that?
Yeah, I can talk about
Farmer
rewards
Michelle?
quick. So I think earlier this week, the Anything Goes number 3 event rewards went out to everybody. The gala for that. The Jack-o'-lantern event rewards have not gone out yet. I would expect those early next week. We're still trying to get all the data sorted and situated and all that, since like we just said, we do have a new PM, so everyone's kind of getting onboarding and learning how to get the processes done, and we're double and triple checking to make sure everything is done properly before we send them out, which obviously is the proper thing to do when someone's new. So those should be sent out early next week, would be my guess. I did
Nice.
make an announcement yesterday about the Zelia rewards, and for I think it was a Halloween giveaway. Those should also be out next week. I have the list. Most of the people that I announced in the announcement did reach out, so I'll update the list and get everyone's information in there, and then we'll get those sent out next week as well. And then the guild rewards for the team competition that we did. I think we have some art to show right on the YouTube video for anybody who's watching, and I'll drop some right here in the
Hey,
Discord.
look at those.
Oh my God, Jetty.
Well, not Jen, would you like to talk about them at all? Since I think you probably made them, right? There
That
they
would
are.
be correct. So, first of all, these are just really awesome. I'm so happy to see the teams get their rewards. I know it's been a bit long overdue, but what's really cool is that it was a collaboration with myself and the other creatives. And, I'm like a stickler. When I put something out there, I want it to be the very best. And whether it's first, second, or third place, I just think these are just awesome to have. And I'm hoping, don't quote me on this, but maybe we can get some more team competitions in the future.
We will definitely be having more team competitions in the future.
That is awesome. But yeah, what a cool project to work on. Thank you to the teams who participated, and hopefully they'll enjoy their rewards.
That is so cool looking. I'm mesmerized.
Yeah, those NFT they're absolutely beautiful. Even the in-game ones, the way they hang out, and they're so cool, the little trophies.
Todd Giant, you really outdid yourself on these, sir.
It's so nice that they have their guild tags on them. Like, what other gaming company is going to send you an NFT with your own guild tag on it?
No kidding, right?
Just
personalized.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really cool, really fun, and it's just a reflection of how great the community is and what we can do for them. So appreciate the kind words from you guys, from everyone, and yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to many more happening in the near future.
Look at those reacts, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for posting that. So, Farmer Michelle, is there any kind of because we're missing Ninja Surprise today? Do we have any kind of social media update from him?
Yeah, he listed a bunch of bullet points here that I'll read through, which I haven't read yet, so I don't know what they say. We got Zealy monthly rewards have been decided. There'll be the Common Ground Helper Pack and the Salty Salt Fields, and these will be given to the top 35 Zealy participants this month. So those are the things that will be going out early next week that I have the list for. We did do the first Zealy sprint this week, and the first 30 people who completed a series of special Halloween quests are going to get a decorations pack. Those should also be out. I think, I'm not 100% sure if those are the ones that he sent to me. If not, I imagine they'll be out pretty soon. I know he said that was, I think, done now. What else we got? The Halloween giveaway is completed, and the 10 people who won Spooky Ghost Tracks or Spooky Wheel of Nightmares, which I'm pretty sure was just randomized, those will be going out early next week. That I have the list for already. And there are still several Zealy participants who haven't submitted a Gala display name on their display name isn't correct. So please make sure that you go in there and make sure that your display name is correct on Zealy so we can get you your rewards faster without having to play detective.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Nice. Well, thank you for filling in. I'm sure he's super busy with all the sweet, happy new baby times.
Yep.
Let's see. Our guest star, we already mentioned it. is One Odd Gent, sometimes misread as Todd Gent or One Todd Giant. Welcome again.
Hey guys.
So 2 weeks ago, we talked about the tokenomics and the white paper. That's still on YouTube, of course, if you want to go back and listen to it. About an hour into it, Mr. Bitbender does a reading of the white paper and answers some questions. I think that was pretty well received. And every week, we get questions. Farmer Michelle has the link to if you want to fill out questions during the week. You don't want to wait till Friday. And of course, the theme over and over is always win earning, win earning. Well, we have to have the white paper and the white paper and everything all arranged before we can write the code, of course. So it was nice to see a lot of that progress going public. It's nice to share that. How about my favorite two people on the team in this call, Farmer Michelle and Todd Gent? What are your favorite pies? How about you, Michelle?
I think I was gonna say pizza, but because the One Odd Gent is here, I think he's probably gonna steal pizza.
We could share the love. Please go for it.
But if I had to pick a pie that's not a pizza pie, let's see here. I think probably chocolate pie. There's something about it. It's got like that chocolate mousse on it.
Oh.
And the whipped cream. It's just good.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll pick.
How about you, Mr. One Odd Gent?
Oh man, how much time do we have? So I'm gonna just name my top three. You probably know what the first one is. So of course it's pizza pie, stuffed crust. You gotta get the veggies there: pepperoni, sausage, veggies. Throw it all, and some seasoning. Parmesan cheese, the crushed red pepper, the dipping sauce. I mean, come on. I could go on, but with that said, dessert pie, it was pumpkin pie for a while, but I have two small ones now, right? And I realize that pumpkin pie is just baby food in a pie crust, so it's kind of ruined it for me now. Sorry, you were saying for everyone else. But the new champ has to be pecan pie. I mean, I hope you guys agree with me on that, but that is just my kryptonite, my weakness. I'm on a treadmill now, more so than ever this time of year, just to make room for it. I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Pecan pie.
I've never had pecan pie, but I feel like it's super popular in the southeast part of the country, which is where I live.
Man.
So I should probably try it one of these days.
I highly recommend it. I mean, hopefully you share the same love that I have, but if not, I understand. Just give you the rest, and I'll take it off your plate.
Bureau's got the funny image here. Yeah, 2007 Thanksgiving, I ate an entire pecan pie. It was large. Yeah, they're very good. My favorite is pumpkin. Well, let me share something with y'all. I think this is really neat. We don't have the artists in here today. They're diligently working in the art mines or whatever. They're pretty shy, but the work in progress of the restyle, which usually SageMaker comes in. He was in here last week. Normally he talks about that. And we have a new art director. We have a couple other new hires, so that's going really well. But right now our current focus is on the upcoming content, as you can see from a lot of the images we share and things like that. But I do have a spoiler. Let me get this ready. This is a really neat thing that's going to be in the game soon. So take a look at that. I just shared it in Discord. It is a kind of a sitting on hay bales movie theater. This will be kind of like a beacon of light. It's going to remove all shade within a 1 tile radius. And yeah, movie theater, right? Dark magic. And so it's going to remove all the shade in the wind box. It'll work for crops and objects and, for example, windmills and wind turbines, things like that. So I just love the art. I think it's so cute and so friendly. And one of our artists was even making the farmer that you can see here, the one with the hat, was making him dance. Yes, exactly, Jetty. They are watching Common Ground on it. So it's commemorative, right? The official title's not yet known, but yes, Budget Beacon, exactly, dubstep. So it'll be really cool, right? So heart react or whatever on that. Let us know your thoughts. I'll give it directly to the artists, and pretty excited to do a little bit of Tom Hollanding and release the image. Nobody said I could. There it is. All right, Farmer Michelle,
Nice.
what's up next?
Let's see here. That was our art restyle discussion. I think we're moving on to game updates. What do
Okay.
we got coming up?
Well, for features, so right now we're addressing a lot of the existing tech debt, some processes, and then a big one is our transaction system. Anybody who's listening right now is like, Volcron, we don't care about the transactions. Well, I don't know anybody. Actually, some of you are pretty nerdy and you like this stuff. So, who was playing during the week or 2 weeks that we really messed up the stars implementation? And I don't mind admitting that. We did it wrong. We kind of went with one design. It wasn't great, and people got pretty ticked off. They're like, "What are you guys doing?" So we didn't, and still don't have a fully atomic transaction system for things like that. So we had to go with a different route on it, and it works fine the way it is now. Anybody who's aware of the stars updates knows that when your town saves successfully, that's when the leaderboard updates with your newest stars, and that works fine. But for the features that are coming up, I mentioned earlier the guilds, the NFT upgrades, and things like that. These are multi-system uh, operations. We got Gala chain operations going on. We got the game state is changing. All sorts of wheels spinning at once. Every one of those has to conclude successfully in order for the transaction to occur. It's a big design, but it's nothing unusual. It's typical CS stuff. I think a couple months ago I said anybody who's worked in like a billing system or on a bank transaction system would be familiar with this kind of stuff. So pretty excited to see that in there. Um, that's going to preclude our work on guilds and on the NFT upgrades. So big one there. That was kind of word salad. And then next, let's see. Oh, the updates for our fixes. Now, y'all can always read our release updates when we do a release, but I'm just going to audio this for you. There was a, ironically, so when we were showing an error pop up in the game, like, oh, you can't do that, or oh, you've been, logged out, or whatever. There was an error happening when we showed the error pop up, which I find ironically hilarious. That's been fixed. Um, there was inventory items I mentioned last week. There was only the visual. You couldn't place more NFTs than you actually owned, but your inventory erroneously showed you, oh, you have 2 of these when you only actually had 1. That's been fixed. The guild trophies you saw earlier, a couple minutes ago, there was a nav mesh bug on those. It's been fixed. There was a small exploit that some people, naughty people, were using. That's been fixed, and they've been spoken to or taken care of in other ways. Let me take a quick aside here, guys. Um, if you find a bug, most of you are pretty good about messaging Farmer Michelle or me. Don't be shy. So please, if you find a bug, let us know. The Gala does have a bug bounty program, and I can provide a link after the AMA. But it is important for us to make the game as fair and as reliable as possible. So P0, P1 bugs, exploits, things like that, we are on it. Just because you don't see me in Discord saying like, "Hey, we're doing this and that," doesn't mean anything. We're working on the bug. So LDR, let us know when you find bugs. All right. There were other fixed things. There were duplicate entries in the leaderboard. That was annoying to look at. That's been fixed. Lolly in Commandron mode. That was fixed. Tiny fixes too, like the gas requirement on the Green Dragon. That was removed for the Commandron mode. Some depot entries were pointing to the wrong cell building, which is kind of weird. That's been fixed. And haunted roller coaster fix as well. So
Nice.
that is our stuff. So Michelle, what about content?
What do we got coming up next? Let's see here. we've got a new craft the week following this next week. This next week's event is an old craft that we all already know and love.
Okay.
That's going to be pumpkin pies for anyone who hasn't guessed already. So that is what we'll be making this week. But there will be, I think, at least 2 weeks in a row of new crusty items following pumpkin pies.
Hmm.
I'll have to tell you guys more about it on Leaky Wednesday, which I guess is a thing now.
What?
So I guess we'll have to wait until Leaky Wednesday. As long as I get more Leaky Wednesday memes.
Is that a
maybe we'll
Gala
have-
wide thing we're doing?
I don't think so. I think it just has become a common ground thing. It's like 3 weeks in a
Oh.
row now. I've been tagged in Discord on Wednesday asking about Leaky Wednesday. So I guess it's a thing now,
Oh, wow. That's great.
which is fine. It's something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there will be new content the week following this next week. And the only other new thing coming into the game this week are the guild trophies, which, like I said earlier, should be out early next week. I just got to set that distribution up and get it approved, so it shouldn't be too long.
Okay. Let's see here. How about Q&A that people filled out? What is our first question?
First question I got here says Gala Chain mobile version and the light paper are now available. When earnings?
Yeah, common theme every week, right? So earnings, we have to follow our daily challenges, right? We have to get our transaction system in so that things are fair, and then we're going to do the nodes as NFTs and the ability to upgrade those. So those are going to precede the earnings.
Yeah, we definitely have some stuff that still has to get done. I know that daily challenges is being worked on. I just saw some like in progress stuff about how it was going to work and what the potential ideas were for what steps to go through. So that we're making a lot of progress on daily challenges.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot his Discord name, our new content designer, but he is working on that.
I don't think I know it yet. Yeah.
It'll come to me right after the town hall ends.
Yes.
I see. The next question I have here says, "Will Common Ground World mode develop? Will the Common Ground World mode develop?"
Yeah. Will it get bigger and better? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's our third game mode. It's got its own unique style. It has its own data set. Yes, definitely.
The next question says, "How will the play to earn system be implemented when the game comes out of beta? Hopefully something other than weekly tournaments." And yeah, it'll definitely be something other than weekly tournaments. We went through the light paper with Bitbender a couple weeks ago, like we said earlier today. So if you're curious about how all that is going to work and the big picture ideas of how that's going to work properly, go back and listen to that read through of all of that, and read the Discord, see what the questions were, see what the answers were about that. There was a lot of information that day, and you'll get it right from the source if you go and check that one out. But yeah, there will definitely be more than weekly tournaments. As NFTs before, where I think they were daily earnings based on completing challenges, and like I just said in the last question, the challenges we're getting pretty close on getting them done. Wild Moopsy, I figured it out before the end of the town hall. That's his name.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the new PM. Sorry, yeah.
No, I don't know his Discord either. I'll have to get him in. But yeah, there will definitely be more than weekly tournaments. All of those finer details on the exact numbers of how the distributions and all are going to work are going to be figured out later, kind of as we go, since we said we're probably going to start with Dirt, the soft token, and make sure that everything works properly and get it all figured out before we do another regular token launch. Oh, and this last question, did you have anything else to say about that?
No, you got it.
Last question I got here says, why was the time sales in Common Ground not used in determining monthly NFT reward? My understanding was that our daily Common Ground selling would be used. Would appreciate the clarification. And that was just, I think we just missed it. I think this was the first time I ran the data for the monthly NFT rewards myself, which I had not done before. So I learned how to do it for this month's for the Cocoa storage, which was big for me. I was very impressed that I figured it out how to do it myself. But I completely forgot that we added a new game mode this month, so just didn't add it in. So I'm gonna go back and run it and make sure that it does have the new game mode in it. I promise it wasn't intentional. It just happened. And we'll make sure that next month the new mode is also in there.
I've never touched that script or series of scripts. What's that like? Does that need some UI love, or is it pretty straightforward? Or what was your experience on that? I'm curious.
It was pretty straightforward. It was my first time doing anything really with SQL. I've got an SQL for Dummies book though, so if I need help, I can look it up.
Nice.
Growing
Yeah.
my skill set.
It's fun. It's soothing.
If you say so.
Well, look, when you're on your like ninth front end rewrite because the latest JavaScript framework isn't cool anymore, and the world, anybody who's listening that's a web developer knows that things change under you faster than you can keep up with. And SQL or SQL in a world of constant change is just a beautiful, almost static language. I mean, yeah, it gets every year they add things, whatever. But in general, the stuff you're learning now will still be useful in 10 years. So that's what I meant by soothing. Can we talk about the bounty for 66 seconds after AMA? Absolutely. So
I think that's all I had for questions. So
okay. All right. Kind of short questions this week. So now that we got, the business out of the way, let's shine the light on one Todd Giant. Hey, man.
I never get told.
Are you? Everybody in Discord loves you. We all love your art and all that. I was wondering, since we got a little bit of time, would you be willing to share with us your process as an artist? Like, are you pen and paper and then you do Illustrator, or what's it like to go from nothing to sharing it on Discord?
Oh man, I mean, it's a privilege first and foremost to work alongside our creative team, everybody involving the Common Ground world, and being able to connect directly to the community. But just to give like an idea, the elevator pitch, it just starts with a pen and paper, like you mentioned, some research on Pinterest, Google Images, and then really just piecing it together and knowing how this is going to look, because the NFTs now, they're made in 3D. Before wasn't the case. It was Photoshop or Illustrator, but we're up in the game. I've always been passionate about trying to be ahead of the curve of what that looks like, whether it was doing the animation now with 3D, just better lighting, textures. So I do have some examples or two photos I did want to share about our recent Pumpkin Pail NFT, the Gotcha. So this is how it starts. And this is just like proof of concept. I would show this to our team of creatives and be like, hey, look, for the Gotcha, it's Halloween. Let's do a pail, some chocolate pieces that kind of resemble the NFT shapes. And trust me, it's going to be awesome. Like, this is it. Trust me. Thankfully, my track record, they say yes, cool, go for it. And then, it's into the labs and getting colors, textures, positioning with the camera, animation, making sure we hit our file size limit now, and just making it that it's something people feel that there's value the second they see it and want to have that in their library. I know with Common Ground World, it's largely about the utility and what these buildings, items can do, but I'm a sucker for aesthetics. I grew up collecting comic books, trading cards, etc. So I kind of like to infuse that with the NFTs that we release, that they're almost like a collectible. You kind of want to just have that and look at it from time to time. And I think this one in particular kind of shows that. So it's cool seeing the before and after. Like I said, a doodle sketch to a primitive 3D to what you see here, the final one with motion graphics, textures, lighting, etc. And this is just a blast, like I said, to be able to work alongside other passionate people on our team, as well as engaging with those on the Discord, leaking stuff, getting feedback, and just living up to what they, have in mind. Just meeting those demands and surpassing them. So that's my long-winded answer.
Hmm. I don't think that was long-winded at all. Have you ever heard me talk about JavaScript? That was great.
Well, I'm
I
not
I
even
wondered
mentioning
about that. Like where like where in the process I always kind of wondered like when do you show shape versus, textures? How do you decide on glossy versus matte, that sort of thing? That's really interesting.
Oh man, yeah. What's really cool with 3D, and this is going to be very technical, so if this bores anybody, I'm not going to apologize. To me, this is awesome. I mean, you have the ability of transparent, solid, metallic, matte, shiny, dull, whether it's scratched up, whether it's flawless, and that's just kind of the like imagine having a flip book, a catalog of all these cool textures, materials, and you just kind of use your judgment. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I think I'm improving still, never getting dull or redundant, and just seeing like what feels right. Is this going to appeal to the audience that we're tailoring it to? And of course, getting the feedback from our team. I like to get people involved and what their thoughts are. And sometimes, I'll get an idea or feedback that I haven't even thought of. And it's like, oh, that's perfect. And Volcron, I know you can attest to that. I've asked you at times, what are your thoughts on this? And you give me some awesome feedback as well. So,
Oh,
yeah,
thanks. Yeah, everybody's a critic, right? And I'm happy to tell you your pumpkin pie is not shiny enough.
not orange enough. That was legit
That's
one of the
right.
feedbacks I got. And you were right. Got to make it more orange.
Yeah. Um, well, that is super interesting. Lazy lumberjack. I don't know what your image is referencing, but well, thank you for that. That's really interesting. I think people who are not art pros, or maybe they do art but they're not doing it for a living or whatever, it's always interesting for them to peek behind the curtain, see how you do it. So thanks for sharing your time with us on that.
No, thanks for allowing me to be here to talk about it. Clearly, I'm passionate. Happy to always jump in and cover more. And share in Discord leaks. Maybe not a leak. We'll see. Always
Mm.
exciting.
Well, let us go on to our live Q&A. A couple questions. I think we've been doing pretty good about answering them in chat. Okay, I'll take this first one. Would you guys like to comment on when Boombot, when's it finally going to be in the game? Yeah, so everything is planned, right? We're not leaving anything out on purpose, but it's just part of the order. Boombot has to be weighed against everything else. Vox, other NFTs, things that kind of surprise us, like if we're doing a collaboration, for instance, the Common Drawn world with the Common Drawn movie, things like that kind of come up and get urgency. So nothing gets cut off. So yeah, it's in the list, man.
Yeah, we're
Um,
definitely not like intentionally delaying it or anything.
mhm.
What we do know so far is that it will be a part of the node guild features in one of the bot slots. So we'll have functionality for everyone in your guild if you put it in your node. Anybody who's in your node guilds, which all of those details are also almost finalized, and I imagine that information will come out pretty soon too, maybe a few weeks. But the details of what that will do will probably be right around then. So look forward to that.
There's a question for you, Farmer Michelle. They're asking, what's the biome for the pumpkin pie meta?
Whoa, well, let's move right on to talking about that then. I don't think we don't have any sales or anything to talk about this week. There's really no other leaks aside from what the competition's going to be, so we might as well move right into it. Oh, the biome for that is forest. It's going to be forest south. There's no oil seep. Let me see if I've got this picture on my clipboard still. I don't, but I think I've got it here, and then I can post it in the Discord. Let's see here. Nope, I'll find it though. I'll make sure it goes into an announcement right after this AMA. It's already in the announcement channel, but I don't want to share it by itself. Well, I guess I could, since that's where it is.
Okay.
We'll just send it there. It's in the announcement channel, the picture of the town. I'll make sure it gets into a full post in a minute. That was just where I had the clipboard saved. So that's what it's going to look like. It's a little bit different than like your standard forest biome. Go check it out if you want to see it.
All right.
The meta, as we said already, was going to be pumpkin pies. There's a bunch of other core changes to some stuff as well. I can share that also. We've got cornstarch is staying cash boosted, and cotton yarn is going back to normal. See, trick-or-treat bags are going back to normal. Pumpkins are going to be cash boosted this week also from 1,000 to 3,000. There's that chart of all of the things that are changing or staying the same. The lines just mean that nothing is changing. They don't mean that it's a zero. I think someone was confused about that last week. So there's a bunch of changes to sushi boat, shrimp, salmon nigiri, golden heart necklace, fancy cakes, and chocolate bars are also cash boosted or returning back to normal, not cash boosted. It's the opposite. Those are all the changes for meta for this week. Some of them being permanent, as I said. Everything from sushi boat to fancy cake is permanent. The rest are all temporary. There is a blueprint reward this week, so the rewards will go down to anybody who sells 10 of the meta item, as we did previously. And that is going to be the hasty tractor, so that will boost your tractor speed in certain percentages, the same as like the hasty windmill did and the hasty jeweler. So if you haven't been playing because you didn't think you could get Gala rewards, definitely play this week because we've got a blueprint coming back.
Nice.
Let's see, I think that was all of the information. You should be able to see the edges. There you go. Thanks, Vulture. That's what it looks like. So I threw some pumpkins in there for you. You got an extra farmer, and you've got your lumberjack in the one windmill.
So you start with pumpkins?
Yep, that's what I did for the starter town this week.
Thank you.
See how everybody likes it. Has everybody been liking the starter towns? Have I been doing a good job? Feel free to let me know if you think they're terrible. It won't hurt my
everybody.
feelings.
There we go.
And I think that's all I've got.
Man, thanks for doing that. What's so people listening kind of have a clue into it. What's our tooling like on that? Is that relatively easy to edit? Like if you decided you wanted to make a smiley face shaped forest or something?
Like for a starter town, it's not terrible.
Okay.
It definitely has gotten better over the last couple weeks. Since I forgot his Discord name again. Wild Moopsy. It's going to take me a while to remember that. It's such a strange Discord name. Wild Moopsy. He's updated it a little bit so that it's easier to do. So really what happens is I think up a fun design and try to make it work according to the meta and what will work best for players, and then send it to him. And he has some type of Excel sheet where it's got drop downs, and he just picks what they're supposed to be, as long as I let him know exactly what changed from what the standard one is, because that's what pre-populates. And then it all gets uploaded into the game somehow, some kind of way that I don't understand. And way above my head. Hey, it's Wild Moopsy.
Made a tool to make starter towns better. Awesome.
You definitely did.
The captain says he likes your towns, but he doesn't like the trees.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people don't like forest biomes. I like forest biomes. Yes, Dubstep, there will be Gala rewards this week as well. It's not just blueprints. It'll be both. Man,
when are we going to do a collaboration with Valheim and have trolls step in? And
that would be super fun.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be.
Oh, man. See him uproot the trees. All right. Well, let's see. There was one more question. Can we keep the colors bright? The jewelry meta art was quite dull, and I couldn't get to my Town Star Happy Place. I will pass that on to the artists.
Yeah, we can make sure the new stuff is bright.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. And I think that's a cool thing to touch on that not many people know is that some NFTs recently have been static and some have been animated. Because we're working with the GIF format, GIF, choose your battle there. It's a format that is a bit tricky because it's limited to a certain amount of colors. So hence why we go for monochromatic. But if it's colors over animation, I mean, we can go nuts and go super colorful. So we can explore that, see how it goes. But I have heard talks of improving the file formats for animations. I won't go much into detail yet, so that could change. But definitely noted. Thank you for the feedback.
All right. So sales, Farmer Michelle, you said no sales on this
Nope,
Friday?
just the decorations are still out there. I think there's still some Halloween stuff out there, but there's no new sales coming this week.
Okay. All right. Looks like, is there anything else to cover?
Not that I can think of, not unless there's any other live questions out there.
Aha, Pixel Mouse could let us choose the time of day, like pick your favorite and just lock it there. That's interesting. We have a cheat in the game that we use to test cycling in debug builds. Maybe that could be like a, yeah, I'll write that down as a it's a possible feature. That's right. GIF versus GIF. When does the new meta go live? Lazy Lumberjack.
Sometime this afternoon after this event ends, as soon as that update goes out. That's the plan. Unless something goes wrong, which does happen on occasion. It should be out this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you from Dub. Hope that answers your question too. Nice. All right. Well, anybody? Yeah, Poison and LO. All right. Well, I think that about covers our content. Gent, you got any last words of wisdom?
I'll say this: that pineapple on pizza is okay with me. Do not retry it. Those are my wise closing words.
Nice. Well, thanks again for joining us. We're going to keep it, I guess it's not as short as we thought. I thought it'd be about a half hour. We're at 43 minutes in, but
Nope, we did pretty good.
yeah, kept it under the hour mark. And his Miranda's farm tractors are so cool. Oh, that's great. Poison says, why not Gent? Keep talking. So everybody.
Well, wait, sorry. There's one more thing I do want to mention because somebody mentioned a pie that I overlooked, and it's going to bother me if I don't say it. But key lime pie has to be up there as well. So apologies to the key lime pie lovers. I hear you, and I completely agree. So thank you.
Oh
now
man,
it's a good pie.
I had never had a key lime pie till I saw Woody Harrelson eating one at the beginning of Natural Born Killers, and it was all neon green, glowing. I was like, "What is that pie?"
Did you have the same reaction?
It was no. That's what happens in the scene, no. All right.
Awesome.
Well, there's your NBK reference, family-friendly listeners. So I hope you all have a great Friday. Remember, like and subscribe, get notifications, turn on the bell so that you will not have to ask in Discord, when's it starting? What's the link and all that? So it's been awesome. Thank you for joining us. Special guest, One Odd Gent.
Thank you.
Farmer
Love
Michelle.
you guys.
And we are out of here. Have a good weekend.